guys, how are you all doing? Happy New Year. I'm honored that you're watching and tuning in. Thank you so much for telling friends, for subscribing, for liking and watching. The returning subscribers, I'm indebted. Thank you so much. Today I'm just going to be making chicken. If you've been following, there are many videos that I've done on chicken, but trust me, each time we do chicken is a different way. There are so many ways of killing a bird, and today we are doing chicken, but in a way that we've never done it before. So join me and see the ingredients that we are using to make this chicken. Now I have myself here drumsticks or thighs. These were whole that I sliced up into half. These are the ones I'm going to start off with by frying. Not deep frying, but frying them to get a golden color on the top of it. And then I have tomatoes that I'm going to work with, some garlic cloves, and then bell pepper, some onions, and oatmeal. I'm also going to be using up some spices like thyme, black pepper, turmeric, and okra to help thicken, and also the chicken seasonings, the chicken masala, as you get on and see. So let me turn on my cooker and start frying the chicken to a golden brown color. That color will help once it touches the pot, it will look really nice, as you will see. Now on low heat, with not a lot of oil, this is just to brown our chicken. You put your chicken on the pan and let it sit there for some time. I'm going to put some black pepper on there so that my chicken can absorb some of it. I'll use half a teaspoon. It doesn't have to be a lot, because even when I'm cooking, I'm still going to use black pepper. So no worries about how much you're putting. I'm also going to put some salt, because I want my chicken to be able to absorb the salt. Now I'm not putting too much salt because I'll be using other ingredients that could have salt in them. So I'll put half a teaspoon of salt. If your pan is big, you can go ahead and put all of them at once. I have about 5 whole drumsticks on my pan. But if yours is smaller, you go ahead and put according to the size of your pan. I just want to cook mine all in one go, and then after some time I'll flip them so that both sides are well cooked. Now I'm just going to turn it so that it browns on all sides. Remember guys, this is not fully cooked, it's just to brown. I've just put on there some black pepper and salt so that my chicken can be able to absorb also on those ingredients. Now as it's browning, I'll go and start cutting up my onions as it browns. Chopped up my tomatoes. It doesn't matter the size, because I'm going to cook them thorough and then you won't be able to see them that big. Now bell peppers as well can go for any size. As the chicken is cooking, remember, we are doing this so that we save up on time. So in case you're wondering, can I still make chicken when I'm pressed for time? Yes, you can. Because while it's browning, you can go ahead and cut up the rest of your ingredients. I'm also going to be putting potatoes in my chicken. This would make me a pot that is self-sufficient, whereby if I have my chicken ready, that means my potatoes are also in there. I just go ahead and serve. So if you have potatoes while the chicken is browning, after you're done chopping up the other ingredients, you can go ahead and peel the potatoes. Mindful of your chicken so it doesn't burn. Now as you can see, I've finished up on the onions. I'm going to be chopping up my garlic as well. Chicken loves garlic. The two put together will taste and smell nice. With garlic, you have to go a bit smaller. If you can, go ahead and blend. I'm not blending this time round. I'm just chopping up my garlic to small sizes. Because I also need to be able to taste it. Now, time for me to also check up on the chicken, see how it's doing. Because I need to get that brown color out of it, so that when I'm cooking, it does not whiten up on me, it stays brown. That nice golden brown color. All I'm doing is trying to turn it so that it's evenly turned. Once you're happy with the color, you go ahead and take it off and continue with the cooking. I still need some more brown on here, because most of the brown that you're seeing is from the black pepper. I want it a little bit more brown than this. So I'll let it sit and continue with my slices. As you can see, the chicken has browned. I'm going to drain it of all the oil and move it to a new pan. So the same oil that I used to fry it is the one that I'm going to use to make the sauce. This is about 3 tablespoons of oil. And then I'll heat up this oil and put my onions and garlic. But I'm giving my oil some chance to heat up, and then I can bring the other ingredients. In this stew that I'm going to be making, I'll be using some potatoes. As you can see, I've got already peeled up potatoes. I've also got some spices, turmeric, black pepper, okra, thyme. I've also got some chicken masala, chicken mix, which has got some bit of chili, paprika, ginger, and black pepper. So that's what I'm going to be using as the spices for this particular sauce. Now that my oil is ready, time for me to put the onions and garlic. So I'll give this some time to cook. I'll saute them for about 2 minutes, then add my tomatoes. This is really just to give off the aromas set off the aromas from my onions and garlic. I don't want these browned. I normally like my onions still juicy. So right now I'll add the tomatoes and then cover so that I can allow the tomatoes to cook through and become soft. I'm going to cover now and give it about 2 minutes, and then I can put other ingredients. Now I've also put some blended tomatoes. This will help with the thickening. Blended tomatoes plus the chopped up tomatoes. I've added in a spoon of salt of sugar so as to break down the acids. Now I'm going to cover this for about 2.5 minutes to allow them to cook and tenderize the tomatoes and onions. Now time to check and see how these are doing. The aromas are overwhelming because the garlic has had time to do its thing, the onions, and now the tomatoes that are in here. Now time for me to add my spices. These will help to thicken, but also the aromas and the taste will change. The spices are thyme, garlic powder, okra for thickening. I'm now going to also add my chicken. So that it can get to absorb the ingredients. Remember, it was just halfway cooked, so this should be good for it. I'm going to add some soy sauce. Now that is just a drop of water, just to keep it from burning as I put the other ingredients. I'm just going to use a little bit of soy sauce, like a teaspoon. I don't want the colors changing too much. See how it looks, guys? I hope you can see the same thing that I'm seeing, and the aromas are great. So now I'm going to add some bit of water and cover for about 5 minutes. The water I'm adding is because later I'm going to put the potatoes and the peas in there. So I need these to prepare for my potatoes and peas that are coming up. I'm putting some bit of salt because remember, much as I salted the chicken as it was halfway frying, I need salt in there for the sauce and for the rest of the ingredients that are coming.
you test the salt to make sure it is salted enough. And when you're happy with the taste, you go ahead and cover. So now I'm going to cover this and let it cook for about 5 minutes. Then I'll add the chicken, the peas and potatoes. Now the 5 minutes are up. Time for me to check and see how they are doing, and then put potatoes. Adding potatoes now, guys, and I'm putting them whole simply because I don't want them squashed. I want to be able to see them. You can go ahead and slice up yours if you want, but I want mine this way, so that's why I'm going whole. Now I'm just going to give these ones also 5 more minutes of cooking. And then I'll add my green pepper and cornmeal. This should give me some nice stock at the end of the day, or stew at the end of the day. So let me cover and check on it after 5 minutes. Guys, time for me to check on the potatoes and the chicken mix. Then see how they are doing. This is good. Now what I want to do is to add the cornmeal and the green peppers. This also will do very well with the aromas. And in about give this about 2 minutes to cook together. Then I'll add something else. I'll continue covering. Now I want to check and see whether the potatoes are cooked. Then I add the final thing. When you get your knife and push it through and it easily goes through, you know your sauce is ready. Like now it's going through easily, as you can see. See how it's going through? So now I'm going to put the peas. These were frozen peas, and I want them to cook for about only 2.5 minutes. I'm doing that for 2.5 minutes simply because peas, when they are frozen, the ice almost burns through them, and you can have, some people have them raw, but we are just going to cook them just for those 2.5 minutes. And then I'll be able to serve and show you how it looks when it's done. Now guys, the 2 minutes are up and a half. And voila, time to serve, and you see how it looks. I'm not going to plate, but I'll show you just from here how everything looks. This is how the sauce looks. You can still see the green, and in one serving you see how my chicken is already soft. My potatoes are soft and still whole. I don't want to squash them. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for telling friends. Until next time, God bless and bye-bye.